Have you ever wondered what it feels like to starve? To not know where your next meal will come from? Now imagine a quarter of a population experiencing that very predicament. This is the reality for the people in Gaza. The ongoing war has left deep scars on the land and its people. A stark report by the United Nations and other agencies reveals that over 500,000 people in Gaza, that's 1 in every 4 individuals, are starving. The risk of famine is a looming specter, growing more tangible with each passing day. The war between Israel and Hamas has claimed nearly 20,000 Palestinian lives and displaced over 80% of the population. But the casualties are not just human lives. The health sector in Gaza is on the brink of collapse, with a mere 9 out of 36 health facilities partially functioning. The situation is compounded by the fact that only a fraction, about 10% of Gaza's food needs are being met. This has led to a food crisis engulfing the entire population, with over 576,000 people teetering on the edge of starvation. The situation is dire, and it's time we turn our attention to this humanitarian crisis. War is not just about the bombs and bullets, it's about the innocent lives that are disrupted, displaced, and destroyed in its wake. As we delve into the impact of the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, we see a grim picture. The cost of this conflict is measured not just in military terms, but in the thousands of innocent lives lost, the displacement of the population, and the collapse of critical infrastructures like the health sector. The death toll has been staggering. Nearly 20,000 Palestinians have lost their lives in the conflict. Among the victims, a significant proportion were women and children, the most vulnerable members of society. This figure doesn't even account for those who have been left injured, traumatized, or missing. But the impact of war is not confined to the battlefield. The ripples of destruction have spread far and wide, causing a massive displacement of people. Over 80% of the population in Gaza has been uprooted from their homes, seeking shelter wherever they can find it. This displacement has led to a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions, with hundreds of thousands of people forced to live in dire conditions, often without access to food, water, and basic amenities. The health sector, a lifeline in such times of crisis, is on the brink of collapse. Out of the 36 health facilities in Gaza, only 9 are still partially functioning. Hospitals and health centers, already stretched thin, are struggling to provide care amid the chaos. Shortages of medicine and equipment have led to preventable deaths and a rise in disease outbreaks. The war has also exacerbated the food crisis in Gaza. With over a quarter of the population in Gaza starving, the risk of famine looms large. The blockade has choked the supply of food and other essentials, pushing over 500,000 people to starvation levels. The war has not only taken lives, but it has also taken away the basic necessities of life: food, shelter, and health. Awareness is the first step towards change, but it should not end there. As we navigate the complexities of the 21st century, we find ourselves in a position where our voices can echo across the globe, and our actions can make a significant impact. And right now, the people of Gaza need us to use that voice. The situation in Gaza is dire. Over a quarter of the population is starving due to the ongoing conflict. That's over 500,000 people who are going without adequate food each day. The health sector is collapsing, with only a handful of health facilities still partially functioning. And the death toll keeps rising with no distinction between civilian and combatant deaths. The importance and impact of international aid in this situation cannot be overstated. It's the lifeline that Gaza needs. Yet only a trickle of aid is reaching those who need it most. This is why it's crucial for us to act, to advocate, and to amplify the voices of those who are suffering. The role that every individual can play in making a difference is often underestimated. But remember, change is a collective effort. It starts with a single voice, a single action, and then it grows. It grows when we share the stories of those affected, when we educate ourselves and others about the situation, and when we demand action from those in power. You can contribute to relief efforts by donating to reputable organizations that are working tirelessly on the ground. Your donations will provide much-needed food, water, and medical supplies to those affected by the conflict. But it's not just about monetary contributions. You can also make a difference by spreading the word about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Use your social media platforms to raise awareness, share credible news articles and resources, engage in conversations. Keep the plight of the people of Gaza at the forefront of global consciousness. Remember, your voice matters, your actions matter, and together, we can make a difference. It's time for us to stand in solidarity with the people of Gaza, and to advocate for their right to live in dignity and peace. The people of Gaza need our help, whether it's by spreading the word or contributing to relief efforts. Every action counts. Remember, change starts with you.